All right, cool. What's happening, everybody? It is phase 2 of the G81 Touring build in partnership with my man Dale. What we got, Dale? Tell us.
So we got a OPF back Remus race system here with black ceramic tips. The reason that I went with this is we ran a titanium version on my M4 CSL. Really like that. It's one of the popular products that we sell, and I'm sure you guys sell a lot of as well.
Yeah.
It tends to be the one that people are happy with as well, because no EML lights, it's a slip-on back, it's reversible as well. That's the good bit about this system. But yeah, I'm just excited to get one onto a G81, you know.
Yeah.
One of the first, especially in the UK, I think, isn't it?
100% the first in the UK, yeah. They can't. We're at R44, it's got to be done first here. But anyways, this is, it's a cool system. It's really nice to fit. There's, one connection to the OEM system, another connection to this mid-pipe, and then it's just the back box. So it's quite cool. They're on I think they're called mushroom joints, I call them, from the Acura, which are quite cool. So you can adjust the back box, get the tip positioning really well. Also works really well with aftermarket diffusers. If they're more aggressive, you can actually tilt the system slightly down.
Stock valve control as well, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be having a loud car driving down the road or anything, got a family in a car, I guess you should be doing that with a G81, not too sure.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got that control as well there.
But Dale, man, this is looking good. What we've done, we've just done the MSS on it, so full adjustable springs, the front's still settling, but the rear's looking perfect on the 12-15 mil setup, so Dylan will put some B-roll in of the car there. And yeah, let's get cracking, let's cut the car up. Stock revs, Dylan, is that the first procedure? Get the exhaust nice and warm before we touch it, thanks. And yeah, let's rev it up, let's hear what it sounds like in the stock form, and then let's do this OPF back. And quickly, we're going to bounce. Well, didn't want to talk now about the stock exhaust. We're going to look at the stock exhaust on the floor. Straight into it? Let's go straight into it. So this is a stock exhaust. So, all right, so we'll be replacing that section. So Remus do two options. You can replace this section and it goes to this point. This is called a resonator back system, and it's cut here. There's some dimples for where you cut it. Dell's opted for the OPF back system. So you're removing the resonator, and this just gives that extra little bit of noise, but you're retaining these lovely OPF things here. So you're cutting in this section, these two flats, connecting the Remus and working back. And
getting rid of this awful size back box as well, so it just hides it at the back. It looks a lot tidier. So, you know, that's the key part, and a weight saving.
Huge weight saving and a beautiful exhaust. So yeah, opting for that. Valves are in the same position, so they'll go straight back on. We'll just put the hangers. And then if you want to get more noise, you can do the OPF delete kind of thing. So you can do a secondary cat back. So you cut it here, you connect it here. And if you want to do a full primary cat backs, you connect it here and you do the Remus from here onwards. So there's one system, two systems, three systems, four systems available for this car, depending on how much noise you want and how much you want to annoy your neighbors. But anyways, without further ado, let's do an M. everybody, welcome to the interior of the M3 Touring. Today we're going to run through the Remus. Obviously you've seen the walkthrough of the Remus, why it's been chosen for this car, and everything in between. Now let's get some sound clips. So you can find us inside. I've also got a GoPro on the outside so you can hear. So we are currently in sports mode. Well, no, my mistake, we're in efficient. So let's get it into manual. So first gear, in efficient. Let's run it through the revs. Up to 7. Did miss the gear there. But it's exactly the same as standard pretty much. When the valves are closed, it does sound good. Obviously, the new BMWs, they've got the active valves, so they do open slightly higher revs. But interior noise, it's minimal. Really nice, really nice. So now, let's put it up to sport mode. Get a bit more crackles. And let's take a right here. So obviously the exhaust has just been installed. Sounds, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. We had a few customers actually in the unit this week that had a listen to the car as well, and they were surprised on how good it sounded, you know, and they've opted for the same thing on their G8X cars. So let's rev it through. So let's drop it down into first gear, and let's just give it a little pull. So this is sports mode. Got some nice pops. We had a nice car. Decide to pull out. So let's have a look. So that's sport mode on the inside. Let's see if we can get some crackles on the overrun. Some really nice crackles. So if you're like 4,000 RPM dropping back down, you know, you do get the pops and bangs. Let's take up to sport mode now. So we can hear some more. So loads more crackles in Sports Plus. Oh, those shifts. So I want to keep the windows closed for a minute. I'm going to drop them down in a second, but you can hear when we shift from first to second, you get that kind of a bit of a fart of such, but a bit of a, you know, you hear the gear change this time, whereas with this stock exhaust you don't really hear anything. So let's get it through the revs. Sounds good. The car's out running on the MSS suspension. Feels really nice. Really nice. So again, the handling of the MSS, but less about that, more about this Remus. Let's just give it a floor now, second to third. Wow, sounds great. We've got loads of PPF flying everywhere, which is nice. A little bit in the back there. So the car's just finished PPF now, just taking it around the block. Ceramic coating's done, and it's ready to be handed over to the customer. And then we'll catch back up with Dale in about 2-3 weeks' time. Let the exhaust bed in, let the car bed in, and then we can have a, you know, hear what Dale has to say about the system, his thoughts on it, and how it compares to his titanium system on his M4 CSL. But let's drop these windows down a little bit. Drop the back ones down and the fronts. This is Sport Plus at the minute. You know, nice rev through. It just, yeah, it sounds good. It's quite hard to obviously show you from the inside of the cabin, but you get a nice little tone. It's the overrun that you obviously want from the car, the exhaust change. Yeah, and then drop it back down. Sounds pretty nice. Let's drop it down into efficient. Valves are now closed. But you don't get that kind of far when you change gear. Let's go down this road. This one's a nice bumpy one. No overrun when you let off, and then you're shifting through the gears. It's nice and quiet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign off and meet you outside the car for a little overview, and obviously we're going to overlay now some outside GoPro footage, and yeah, let us know what you think. I'm going to pop over here and yeah, go from there. Thanks guys, we'll speak to you guys in a bit. Yeah. We are now outside the car and at the back. Look at that. Touring back just looks so good. So the Remus OPF back has been fitted to this car, as you can hear it in the revs, the before revs, the after revs, the in-car revs, and driving, the flybys. You can't go wrong with the system. It's an easy to fit system, good value for money. It holds its value. It doesn't rust. It's a good quality piece. There's not much more to say. I'll let the kind of performance do the talking. But make sure you check back for the final episode of this build. So if you're watching this in 2 years' time and you picked up your car and this car, we are now on the 15th of, when this was filmed, 15th of February 2023. So if you watch this in 2 years' time, make sure you check out like episode 6 or something of this build, where you'll have a more in-car kind of review with the owner of this car after living with it for a couple of weeks, as well as on some proper nice roads. Obviously, we're here in London, so you can't open it up as much as we wish. And obviously, the exhaust needs to bed in a little bit. The car is 120 miles old, so we'll let it all bed in nicely. We'll recap after his running in service, and we'll catch up. So make sure you check that out. But for now, that's the Remus. If you want it, hit up our sales line, shop anywhere in the world. Just make sure you fit Remus to your car. But anyways, as always, guys and girls, thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like this, drop a comment if you can, what car you have. It'd be hugely appreciated. Take care.